Hello, lovelies, and welcome to the Authortube Writerly Love tag created by Bex the Novel Nana. I was tagged by writer Sam Wicker, and so let's hold my latte and we will get started on the question. But first, you all remember my little tiny puppy that I got a few months ago? Yes, wasn't he adorable? Well, I want to show you something today. Agent Mayhem, who's a good boy. You can see Cooper, still tiny, still white, still adorable, but Agent Mayhem has gotten significantly bigger. So, without further ado, let us go to the first question. There are only 6 questions. Which author do you love or have the most books of? Hold on a minute. I'm going to take you to my bookshelves. So these are my Anne McCaffrey hardcovers. I do have every every paperback she ever wrote. I do have. So yeah, but these are just my hardcovers. And then there's this shelf that is next to my fireplace. All of this shelf right here. Um, that is almost every Clive Cussler hardback. So, and I have a lot of others. I have a lot of other books and a lot of other things. Um, um, Madeline L'Engle, Ursula K. Le Guin, just Tony Hillerman. I have all of his books. I don't have them all out because I don't have enough bookcases. I don't have enough bookcases. So, in my living room, you can see I got a bookcase there, bookcases in the kitchen, bookcases on either side of the fireplace. Hello, agent. Bookcases in by the desk, all the bookcases. So, and plus bookcases in like bedrooms and stuff. And I still don't have enough bookcases. I'm empty. Be right back. Okay. Question number 2 for the writerly love tag is, what do you love most about being a writer? What do I love most about the writerly love? Well, I love telling the stories. I really, really do enjoy telling the stories. It's world building. World building is awesome. Um, I, and the community. I mean, not just like readers. Yeah, I really enjoy the interaction with readers when they message me. It makes me happy that, I'm entertaining them, but I do love the community. The community is amazing. Question number 3. What is the one thing you love most about the writer life? Um, One thing. I think one thing would have to be, well, I enjoy creating the stories. I love the world building out, all of that. Yeah, I do videos and stuff about that. But I think the one thing that really touches me the most, and this is because of my advocacy for the people to get therapy if you've suffered trauma. Um, But I think it's when I get those PMs from someone who's like, I went through this, and I think it's time that I told someone. I think it's time that I got help to recover. I think that's it. Question number 4. What book from your childhood made you fall in love with reading? Um, Anne McCaffrey was one of the first, but the very first book that made me fall in love with science fiction specifically was this book. Now, the cover got ruined, and so I put a new cover on it, but it's a book called Stargirl by Henry Winterfeld. And it was a Camelot book. It early chapter book. It's got like pictures in it and stuff. I was in first grade when I read this book, and it is actually the first book that I ever bought for myself. Like I read it from the library, and then I saved the money and bought it. And then I discovered the Dragon Singer was another book that was the second book that I bought, and then A Swiftly Tilting Planet was the third book I bought myself. So I have always been a science fiction and fantasy genre reader fan. I remember as a little girl reading fairy tales. My family had a Collier's Encyclopedia set, which came with 2 volumes of like fantasy stories, like fables. And he's so big, so big. Number 5 in Authortube or in real life gives you who in Authortube or real life gives you encouragement and support and helps you believe in yourself enough to conquer your goals and writing dreams. Our lovely community. The encouragement that we get here is wonderful. Bex The Novel Nana, who created this, Sam Wicker is lovely. I have such a place in my heart for her. Jules the Dawdling Writer, Laura Nettle, Gloria and Tom Fink from the Awkward Siblings Hour, and the Glory Writes the Blues channel. Barrett Laurie. Barrett is all the love for Barrett and Rick. Who else? Charlie C.E. Dorsett, Chandra, Nia, Carrie, Amy, Shannon, Caro Brown, Tamara Woods, just all these. My Brit Pack. I love my guys from the Brit Pack. Colin and Richard and Martin and Adam. They're just wonderful. There's just so many people that are fellow writers and author tubers that just they're so encouraging and they're so supportive of me and my brain damage interloping into their world. Um, my family is very supportive, even though they don't read the genres that I write, um, except the middle. And she's kind of busy in the Navy right now, so she's not doing any reading. But and I've been blessed to have several fans who have followed me since I started my writing journey 6 years ago, and it's I love telling this story, and it makes me feel so honored and so privileged that there are people who want to who want to hear my story. Sorry, Lola says hello. Okay, there you go. Yes, everybody's in being close today because the cold weather is coming in and we know it's coming in and they know I'm in pain. So, um, but yeah, who's helped me enough to conquer this? My family support has been amazing. Even though they don't read my books, they still support my writing in every way. And I am just I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm one of the lucky ones to have a family that understands that I love this. I love doing this. I need to do this. Um, chapter or question number 6. What is or would be your debut novel's dedication? Well, let's see if I. So, Revelation of Ash was the very first book I put on Amazon. And don't think I put a dedication in this one. I did not. I did not put a dedication in this one. Let's see. Okay. Then I had Steamer's Tea and Coffee was the first of the Devoted Sisters that I self-published. And the dedication in that one says, to Catherine and Michelle, thank you so much for supporting my scribbles. Without friends like you, I never would have the courage to share them. So this one is on my Amazon page. And then my first Indie House published book was this one through Editingle Indie House. And it's Red Velvet and Anemones. Betrayal always offers the choice, be bitter or better. And Michelle and Catherine really believe in this series. And they believe in the message of overcoming trauma, of getting help. And the dedication on the front page, it says, I'm blessed to have the support of my family and friends and know so many women who overcame. I can't thank them enough for choosing the path to better, not bitter, with me. And then in the very back of this book, I have some recipes. So if you need recipes, there's recipes in the back of Red Velvet. But there's a full page author note. And then an acknowledgement page. And these are, I'm going to go ahead and read them because they're important to me. I want to dedicate this to all who overcame. On April 28th, 2015, I should have died. I had a lacunar stroke, and the world I knew as I knew it ended. I struggled to walk. I forgot every time I slept. I couldn't eat. I couldn't speak clearly or write properly or express my simplest needs. The words I wanted were stuck within my mind or just lost completely. I faced a choice: be bitter about my circumstances or overcome and be better. As a family, we chose better. My occupational therapist and neuropsychologist suggested writing to relearn language and to read what I wrote aloud. to help my speech. My darling daughters helped me with my first fumbled words, while my husband humored our shared attempts at fiction. Thank you is not a big enough sentiment to express how I feel about my family's support. Soon we had a story, the first of many. A year and a few months later, a friend challenged me to write a book called Blue Butterflies for Camp Nano. It birthed a place called Pagosa Cliffs. Every word, every page led us deeper into the mountains of Colorado, to meeting the broken characters who live there and witnessing their journey through the bitter or better choices. Through writing and posting those chapters, I made many friends all over the world and found a world of encouragement this brain-damaged farm mom never felt worthy of. Thank you, Nisa Catherine, Michelle, and Musha, for taking a chance on Pagosa Cliffs, the Anemones series with Editingle Indie House Press. Thank you, John, Glenn, Heather, and all my Wattpad and Negan readers for the journey to for taking the journey to Pagosa Cliffs with me from the beginning. Eat more cake, be better, not bitter. And then in I need a moment. Okay, then in the acknowledgement page, I have an in memory of. While editing Anemones, I lost a dear friend to cancer. Fiona was one of the first readers to follow my fledgling forays into writing. She was always so encouraging to my scribbles. Sadly, she was not the first, nor will she be the last. Life is that way. Lelatos, Carol, Murray, Bren, and Finny, aka Fiona, made my writing recovery better with their encouragement and honesty. They saw that I could do it, even when I repeated words or scenes, or wrote as squirrely as a cactus-drunk jackrabbit under a full blue moon, because my broken brain made even simple sentences into a word escher on my bad days. They were my first readers, my first friends and fans. And now they're gone. I'm sorry, I've never read it out loud. 1 to a tragic accident on her honeymoon. 4 to cancer, leaving a broken place in my heart. And gratitude for knowing them. You might see them in my stories, these women who chose to be lights in a dark world trying to break them. A dyslexic daughter who overcame to work in her father's world of wildcatting and ocean oil rigs. The divorced church singer who lost her voice, so she whispered her faith before losing her battle in this world and gaining a great victory in the next. The abused farm girl turned single mom, then grandmother, raising grandchildren in times of great racial tension. The widowed therapist and abuse survivor turned rescue worker whose last message and own story were written by my floundering post-stroke mind as a plea for abused women to seek help in a genre that glorifies abuse as romantic. Harm isn't romantic. Hate doesn't become affection. And an abuser will never truly love the ones they abuse. And lastly, the mom who refused to surrender to a terminal illness and shared hope with her friends near and far unto her last day. We all chose to be better, not bitter. I was blessed to know them, blessed that they shared my views and believed in the message I'm trying to share through my words. I am grateful for the time I was given with them. So that was my first real dedication and acknowledgement was for Red Velvet and Anemones, was to these very amazing women that I was so blessed to know. And I'm so blessed to feel part of that sisterhood with them. Thank you, Sam, for tagging me. Thank you, Bex, for creating this tag. I'll share the links below. For tagging people, I don't know who else has been tagged. So consider yourself tagged. I will, I guess I'll call on Charlie, C.E. Dorsett, Glory Writes the Blues, Glory Fink, and Catherine, Edward, Nisa, Catherine. Sorry if I made you cry. Cried a little myself. I hope you all have a very lovely day and that wherever you are, you appreciate the time you are given with your loved ones and realize that even people you've never met in person can be some of your best friends. Be blessed and have a very lovely day.